welcome everyone today. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my speech that I have to give. The title of this speech is Why You Should Vote for Barack Obama. I believe given the current time that this is an important speech with the upcoming election in November, and I hope you guys are able to take something from this and make a good sound decision during election in November. I'm going to start off by saying the presidential election in November is going to be a critical part of our country's history. 4 years ago, our country was on the brink of a depression and in very poor condition. The automotive industry was going bankrupt and the housing market was literally crashing to the ground. Gas prices were at an all-time high, and we were in the middle of 2 wars. When Obama took over as president of our nation, the country was in shambles. And the job of fixing the problems and getting the country back on track was going to be a very daunting and tough task for Obama's administration. So I'm here today to inform you of the positive things his administration has done in the past 4 years and try to persuade you to vote for him in November during the presidential election. I would like to begin by addressing some of the tasks that Obama faced when he took over as president. I want to show you some staggering statistics that will help you understand some of the complicated things that he had to do to get the country back on track, and that I also think is going to prove that Obama has got the country back on track. First thing, the war in Iraq. On average, the Iraq war cost the United States a staggering $10 billion a month during the course of the war. And that is one of the biggest reasons that our economy was in the condition that it was in. We haven't even begun to see the extent of the cost that the Iraq war is going to cost this nation. And some more interesting facts about the Iraq war is, according to About.com, here are some of the troop casualties. We had 4,487 U.S. troop casualties. 98% of them were male. 91% were non-officers. 82% were active duty. 11% were National Guard. 74% were Caucasian. 9% African American, and 11% Latino. 19% were killed by non-hostile causes, and 54% of the U.S. casualties were under 25 years old, and 72% were from the United States Army. So we will be paying for the benefits that were rendered to the soldiers during the Iraq War for 80 plus years. And this still leaves the burning question: should we have even invaded Iraq to start with? The UN and its inspectors asked for more time so that they could continue to investigate the question of were there weapons of mass destruction. And during the Bush administration, there wasn't enough time given for that task. So maybe we went in there prematurely, since they never really found any weapons of mass destruction. Okay, so now that we've discussed the biggest roadblocks that Obama faced turning the country around, we can now look at some other critical areas that were dragging our nation and its economy down. The decline of the automotive industry played a major role in the debt and hard times we faced. 3 of the top automotive companies were going bankrupt and causing a major crisis on Wall Street. Tens of thousands of automotive workers were being laid off and terminated from their jobs, and they were losing their retirements and benefits that many had worked their whole life for. And the crisis didn't just stop with the automotive companies, it spread out to every company, industry in town that was involved with the automotive industry. People were buying fewer cars, and they were buying smaller compact cars because of the high gas prices and the increasing prices of the cars. The housing market was also creating serious problems for our economy and the government. The home foreclosure rate was at an all-time high, and this was having a major impact on our economy. From the late 1990s until the 2000s, the residential housing market was booming, and residential neighborhoods were springing up all over the country. And it became really easy for first-time buyers to get a new home. And that may be one of the reasons that the housing market ended up going and crashing, because a lot of inexperienced first-time buyers were getting homes that they really couldn't afford. So they were getting in over their heads, which in turn caused more foreclosures. Okay, now that you are aware of some of the major issues crippling our nation, we can now talk about some of the ways that President Obama began to turn this country around. The Emergency Economic Stabilization Act of 2008, which a lot of us also know as the bailout. This act was opposed by a large number of Americans. However, it was very necessary to keep this country from slipping from a recession to a depression. According to Finance Fortune, the bailout, by the numbers, clearly did work. Not only did it forestall a worldwide financial meltdown, but a Fortune analysis shows that U.S. taxpayers are coming out ahead on it by at least $40 billion and possibly as much as $100 billion eventually. And there are many other notable high points. Some involve the military and foreign relations, while others involve the environment and equal rights and pay for women. So in conclusion, I would like to thank everyone for listening to my speech today, and I believe this is an important topic, especially with the upcoming election. So please go out and vote. Thank you.